Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at how to get the most out of your 1,000 Suns. And Psychic is back, boys. This video is sponsored by the Game Bunker. More on that later. How to get the most out of 1,000 Suns just as planned. The 1,000 Suns are the latest chaos faction to arrive in Warhammer 40,000, with a shiny new Codex and some fearsome new robots. Magistar Adam Camilleri of the Forge and Narrative podcast is here to discuss his two favorite detachments, Rubric Phalanx and the Warpforged Cabal. So here we can see a nice little setup of some 1,000 Suns facing off against some White Scars. Very exciting. Hello, fellow seekers of the forbidden knowledge, and welcome to an expose on the mystical and magical. The Codex 1,000 Suns is building power in the warp and is entering the 41st millennia with a much changed but rewarding and powerful army rule. In lieu of the old Cabal points, you now have a 4-pack of powerful rituals to successfully activate once at the start of every shooting phase. Select one unit from your army with the Cabal of Sorcerer's ability to manifest your ritual of choice. Roll 2 dice and consult the warp charge value of the selected ritual. If you want to secure a clutch ability, you can elect to roll 3 dice. But you risk a D3 mortal wounds if you roll any doubles. Trying to harness such power comes with risks. Note that every character and some other units, Scarab Occult Sorcerers and Aspiring Sorcerers, have the requisite keyword. What's more, if you fail, you can try again with another unit, making the abilities very reliable for a canny general who can line up redundancies and contingencies. Tzeentch wouldn't have it any other way. Every ritual has 2 breakpoints. My favorite of the bunch is the Destiny Ruin, which has a warp charge value of 5+ and allows you to select one enemy unit in line of sight within 24 inches if manifested. Your entire army can reroll hit rolls of 1 against them for that phase. But should you roll a 10+, your entire army can reroll all hit rolls against the target. Alright, so it sounds very cool. The ability to reroll all hit rolls, very strong. And then that will incentivize you to use 3 dice instead of 2 if you really want to get that off. So here we can see the Psychic Test sequence, roll 2d6, or you can channel the Warp, which is optional, and you would roll a third d6. Then if one or more doubles or triples were rolled during the test, this model's unit suffers a d3 mortal wounds. So basically the extra die is going to all but guarantee you get your Psychic power off, and the only risk is that you're going to take a d3 mortal wounds, but the Psychic power still goes off as long as your unit doesn't die. If that model is not destroyed, the combined total of all the dice rolled during the test is a Psychic Test result. This equals or exceeds the warp charge value of the ritual being attempted. The model manifests a ritual and you can resolve its effects. So very cool. Rolling 3d6 and trying to get a 10 or higher to reroll all hits against the target basically is going to give you Oath of Moment. And on average, you're going to roll a 3 and 2 4s or 2 4s and a 3. So your average roll, you should be able to pass this. Now, obviously, sometimes it's going to fail or you're going to roll doubles. So it's either not going to go off, but you can try it again on another unit. Or if you roll doubles or triples, you're going to take a d3 mortal wounds. But very strong ability. I definitely like this. And then next we have Destiny's Ruin, Psychic, warp charge value of 5. Select one enemy unit within 24 inches and visible to the manifestation model. Until the end of the phase, each time a 1,000 Suns model from your army makes an attack that targets that unit, reroll a hit roll of 1. If the Psychic Test result for this ritual was 10+, you can reroll a hit roll instead. So I think the redundancy of being able to try it on another unit if it fails, and then just having 4 of these powers is going to still make sorcerers or other psychic-like characters very strong. A definite necessity to the army, and then we'll have to see how the enhancements and various different detachments stack with the psychic powers to truly unleash the power of Tzeentch. Now that I've given you a taste of the army rule, let's dive into my favorite of 5 new detachments. So first we have the Rubric Phalanx. Rubric Marines, and Scarab Occult Terminators have long been the dusty core of the 1,000 Suns faction, and this detachment gives them a chance to shine. All this dust adds a stunning level of durability to your units with their +1 armor saves when targeting damage 1 weapons, both in shooting and combat. When you factor in Terminator's new ability, -1 to opponent's wound rolls against a unit that contains any Psychers, you start to see it come together. Okay, so very strong ability that stacks. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, Game Bunker. Game Bunker carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, terrain, paint, tools, and more. Game Bunker offers 15% off MSRP for most Games Workshop products with the discount code WHMS. Receive free shipping in the continental United States on orders over $145. Online orders ship out within 24 hours. Game Bunker is a veteran-owned business. Use affiliate link below, enter discount code WHMS to save 15% on most items at checkout. For fast, friendly service with a discount on your favorite tabletop wargaming purchases, visit GameBunker.net and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. One of my favorite new combos involving taking a unit of Rubric Marines whose Inferno Bolt Guns have gained additional AP, placing them in the best damn Rhino and Eye of Terror has to offer, and attaching an Infernal Master for sustained hits 1. The Infernal Fusillade stratagem will grant any Inferno Bolter variant Strength 5 and Psychic, which works with the Rhino's ability to give the unit Psychic attacks +1 to hit and wound rolls when they disembark and fire at the same target in their transport, while the Destiny's Ruin and Twist of Fate rituals grant rerolls to hit and up to 2 AP. So it sounds like you can do quite a bit of damage with this little combo right here. It does take a character, a Rhino, a unit, and then also a couple of rituals, but suddenly your bolters are doing quite a bit of damage. Extend your assault further with the inexorable advanced stratagem, which allows you to ignore any modifiers to your move characteristic or advanced rolls and grants assault on ranged weapons. The Risen Rubric enhancement allows you to give infiltrators to 2 units of Rubric Marines or 1 unit of Scarab Occult Terminators who can additionally benefit from a powerful 2 CP stratagem called Implacable Guardians that reduces incoming damage during the enemy shooting phase. When coupled with their aforementioned ability and the +1 armor save against damage 1 weapons from the detachment ability, Scarab Occult Terminators had never been better. So yeah, very strong. 2 command points, you get -1 damage, and then anything that's damage 1, you're going to get +1 to your armor save against. And then -1 to wound if your unit contains a psyker, so either an attached character or the leader of the squad. So definitely some cool little combos and extra durability here. And next we have the Warpforged Cabal. This detachment is all about vehicles, adding both reliability and consistency with a slice of downside, which is oh so tzeentchian. The detachment ability is Warpfire Infusion, which gives each vehicle 1 reroll to hit, wound, or damage when shooting or fight. If said unit is within 6 of a friendly psyker model, you can reroll 1 hit roll, 1 wound roll, and 1 damage roll instead. So very strong. A hit, a wound, or a damage is good, but a hit, a wound, and a damage is way better. Now here's the rub, which is very cool and thematic. To be fair, a friendly vehicle unit is destroyed while within 6 inches of a friendly psyker if a deadly demise on a 5-up instead of a 6. Every enhancement is legitimately worth considering. But I like the Warp Curse Runemaster, which adds 6 inches to range to any rituals while manifesting within 6 inches of a friendly vehicle, slaying them from the backline, giving maximum rerolls to a battery of long-range attacks. So very cool. You're like supercharging your vehicles, but when they blow up, they're going to explode on a 5 instead, and then you're giving them extra range with the various enhancements. And then we also have Perplexing Cloak. Simply gives an infantry model the lone up ability while within 3 inches of a friendly vehicle. This is amazing for keeping your psychic model safe to continue buffing the vehicles. So basically giving them like that Tech Marine ability. Obviously this is like an Iron Storm equivalent for the Thousand Suns, and it seems pretty good. Next we have Wharf Siphon is a game changer. It allows you to reroll 1 additional d6 when manifesting your rituals, before checking for any doubles or triples, which allows you to dodge additional damage when you wish and reach higher for those second breakpoints. Sure, a nearby vehicle takes a mortal wound, but they have plenty. And then of course rhinos are going to heal a wound too, assuming they still have the same Datasheet ability, so you just pop a little wound on your rhino and then heal it back up next turn. As for stratagems, the spicy Cyber Spirit machinations will allow your vehicles to fall back and shoot or charge within 6 inches of a friendly psyker. Hexmark armor reduces incoming AP by 1 attacks against friendly vehicle. That is awesome. So basically a built-in armor of contempt to help your vehicles. So some very strong abilities right here, very thematic, definitely different ways to play the Thousand Suns than what is like basically the only way right now, which is really what the army needed. Lastly, Encircled Infusion is the one you want to make sure you budget for every turn. It grants a vehicle within 6 inches of a friendly psyker +1 to wound rolls and psychic for your shooting phase. When combined with rerolls for the detachment roll, you can see some very powerful units becoming even more potent. Thanks Adam, the Thousand Suns Codex, Battleforce, Combat Patrol, and extras will be available for pre-order this Saturday, just as planned. So very cool, very powerful, definitely sounds like there's some awesome stuff here, some really nice combos. Thousand Suns probably still going to be like very thought intensive to play, but when you set up some of these various different combos, stacking your army rule, your enhancements, your stratagems, you're going to be able to do some serious damage or create some durability with a little help from tzeentch. And then on top of that, we know Magnus is going to be an absolute beat stick and have tons of awesome abilities that's going to buff the army. Can't wait to see what the Thousand Suns have to hold. I can't wait to see the true power of the Thousand Suns. So let me know what you're most excited about if you're going to be picking this up, what type of army you want to see or detachment that you hope is really in there. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to the Game Bunker for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products with code WHMS at checkout. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.